Silly Ducks versus MiTH.RTA-E. Silly Ducks leading 2-1 right now. We'll have to see what our RTA can do to possibly come back in this match.
Yeah, just taking a look at the tanks for each team, we see the Silly Ducks Revolution running 2 AMX-50s, 2 IS-3s, and a T-69 for their medium. And for RTA, they have 2 AMX-50s, 2 KV-5s, and 2 T-69s. So a bit of change up here, but pretty heavy here on this urban map. It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely does make sense, and actually it's a pretty similar lineup coming out from both teams. Except the Silly Ducks, they're going with those IS-3s, and RTA going with the KV-5. So slightly differing strategies. However, firepower-wise, I really can't give the advantage to their team.
Yeah, I mean, on this urban map, it makes sense, like we said before, that they go with these heavy setups. I just like to see RTA play a little bit more aggressive. I mean, on the south, it seems like they're already moving up the east side, which is good, a good start for this aggressive push. But when you start at the south, you don't have the same advantage that you do in the north, because in the north, you do have that northwestern area where it's very, very locked up. There's a lot of buildings, a lot of cover to take behind, and if you have those heavy tanks, you can just use it to your advantage. And when you start in the south, you have to do something to take that away from the north.
Yeah, definitely. So RTA is now pushing up that eastern side of the railway, but they have to be extremely careful though, because if they do go for a base capture or even a push up on that northern side, they're gonna run into a bunch of Silly Duck members undercover, and they will get a lot of damage will get taken out onto them.
Yeah, I like that they're pushing up here. They have to be careful though, like you're saying, you can't take too much damage. You got to be sure of where the Silly Ducks are. They did spot one heavy tank in those buildings, so they do have an idea that they are in the northwest somewhere, but they could be spread out, and they got to be careful and stay behind these rail cars, at least for now.
Yeah, definitely. And right now, RTA now moving slowly up into this northeastern corner right now. They haven't spotted any more members of the Silly Ducks, so but they can expect the Silly Ducks to be in that northeast or western corner. They just got to be careful though, coming out of that cover, coming out from the west or eastern side. There's really no cover once you get past those railway cars. So if they do decide to engage the Silly Ducks, they are going to be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, and some shots fired. You see one of the medium tanks over there actually taking a bunch of damage over there. It's down to 62%.
Yeah, Obelisk. So. Yeah, Obelisk taking down to about 62%. No damage has been retaliated onto RTA-E. They are going to try and line up shots to try and damage some of the RTA members, but the base capture has been started.
And this is interesting. I mean, we wanted RTA to go aggressive, but this is pretty aggressive, especially with Silly Ducks in all of that cover. It seems like they just want to draw them out, though.
Yeah, exactly. So Panda Eye has started that base capture, and the Silly Ducks now going to try and stop this. It should be an easy stop here. Panda Eye in a little bit of danger, though. 2 shots getting taken out. Help me, please. Same with Panda Eye, both taking a lot of damage right now. Panda Eye has to get out of there before he takes more damage. Panda Eye here, he does back up, but another great shot coming out from Silly Ducks, taking him down to about 40% now. Oh, and help me please. And Panda Eye 24% right now. 8%. So oh my god, Panda Eye just a little bit too aggressive. He took a little bit too much damage right there. Yeah, I mean, although I admire RTA's play by being aggressive and trying to make plays happen, it's just you can't be that aggressive, especially pushing up from the south.
Yeah, Panda Eye took so much damage. He's down to 8% like you guys just saw there. He was all the way out in the open. I guess he was kind of counting on his teammates to give him some more cover, but Silly Ducks just had such a nice position over there on the west that it just seemed like they were a little bit too aggressive. They tried to do the base capture to get Silly Ducks to come out, but Silly Ducks are pretty close to their base, so they don't have to come out much. If they have good cover on the west, they can just lay down that fire and do a lot of damage to RTA just like they did.
Yeah, exactly. So it's only a matter of time before the Silly Ducks now push this advantage. Yeah, I mean, Panda Eye is so low. They also got Help Me Please to pretty low as well. So Calliope taking a little bit of damage. Yeah, so RTA not too healthy right now, and if the Silly Ducks manage to get maybe one more pot shot off, they're gonna go for that engagement.
Yeah, I mean, Silly Ducks already with a huge advantage. Panda Eye, one of their big tanks, already down to 8%. And we've seen low percent health tanks do a lot of damage before, but in this situation where Silly Ducks have such good cover, it's going to be hard for RTA to get a lot of shots, and Silly Ducks probably just going to get a bunch more shots and come out and finish the game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and some nice shots coming out from Calliope, or actually Calliope getting taken down to about 57%. Yeah, he's there with his KV5, and I mean, those two KV5s, they gotta use those to do a better. I mean, KV5s are extremely slow. They do have a lot of firepower. They are quite tanky. So, I mean, even though I like the positioning coming out from these KV5, they just took too much damage, I think.
Yeah, I mean, RTA with about 3 or 4 tanks now that are at 57%, 50%, and then we have Panda with 8. It's going to be hard to take this base like they seem that they want to.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be extremely hard to take this base, but they are retaliating some damage onto Ashikawa Musketeer. Ashikawa Musketeer taking about 82% health. Black Label here, yeah, great job. Help me, please. He has been spotted once again by the Silly Ducks. And yeah, honestly, if this continues to go the way it has been going, the Silly Ducks are just going to take this set.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They got a couple of good shots there. Black Label with a nice shot all the way across the map, but I don't know. It's not enough damage. It's not even yet. And
yeah.
Silly Ducks definitely have the better positioning as well still.
Yeah. No, I want to see Panda Eye pulling out. I don't know what he was doing. He went way out there in the open, getting taken out with one shot, and that is going to signal a push coming out from RTA-E, because they realize if they don't push now, then they will not push later. So they are just going to try and go in to tie this up, and the Silly Ducks also pushing in. So it's going to be both teams engaging each other right now. It's going to be a really hard engage, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before the rest of the RTA members get taken out, because they lost a huge tank, and one tank does get taken out. The AMA-50 getting sniped out by the Silly Ducks. They will, I think they can retaliate this with a kill of their own, but the Silly Ducks pushing in so strong right now.
Yeah, this is a nice push out of Silly Ducks. They got one tank. I'm not sure why Panai went in there either, but he just got taken out and signaled a push from RTA. It was a bit of a desperate push, but Silly Ducks recognizing that they were going for that push, and they just kind of counter pushed as well onto the base and took out all these low health members of RTA.
Exactly, and look at all those dead members of RTA-E. There are 5 of 5 tanks grouped up right there, all dead on the same spot, and that is just a question to how focused RTA's push was, but how it did not pay off, and the rest of the members of Silly Ducks now pushing to finish off this last tank.